Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Story number 1. Don't Touch the Dead, written by Mercury the Dealer. Don't touch the dead. From the depths of the dwarven strongholds to the peaks of the dragon slumber, all follow the rule. Do not touch dead humans. You can kill them brutally, you can burn, pillage, and destroy, but never touch the dead. Everyone follows this rule. The most curious of dwarven physicians does not care to dissect a human corpse, and the hungriest of goblins would rather starve than bite a human cadaver. If you kill or find a dead human, you leave the poor bastard there, or give them to another human. If you see a human gravedigger, let him be and keep walking. Bad things happen to those who break the rule. The first recorded case of someone breaking the rule was during the First Elven-Human War. An elven general whose name has been long forgotten had just captured a major human port city called Obadapram. Yes, the same Obadapram that is now our capital city. May I continue? Yeah, good. So the general conquered the city after a grueling siege and was almost done with only one problem left. What to do with the corpses. The dead elves were all buried with military honors on the outskirts of the city while the humans were put in one giant pile. Gravediggers came for the human dead, and soon they joined the pile too. How do the gravediggers know about the dead? They just know. Don't look into it too much. You won't like what you find. What did they do with the pile of corpses? They burnt it. Hundreds of dead men and women were set on fire and left to burn as the army prepared to continue their campaign. They burned for a whole night like a small star on the land. They burned for a whole second night like a small constellation on the black sky. By the third night, the pile burned like a small sun. By the fourth, there was no night, for the fire had consumed the darkness just as it had consumed the forest in which it was placed. The souls of the dead burned and burned like an inferno as they moved and destroyed the land and the army who took their lives. How did it go out? Simple. We destroyed a dam and flooded 5 villages just to put out the flames of the dead. Yes, that is why Obadapram has so much barren land around it. It used to be a forest. The second time someone broke the rule was just a decade after the first time. A necromancer whose name is unimportant saw what a human souls did to Obadapram and decided that they could make the great test subjects. What did they do? They brought a single human back to the mortal realm. You might have heard the stories of this. A gigantic skeleton with enormous bony wings capable of destroying dozens with a single hand. Yes, those are lies. No, they are not lies to scare children. The opposite, in fact. They are lies to comfort the adults of the true horror. It was a normal skeleton. It was not big or strong or even fast, but it refused to go back. The necromancer couldn't control it and ended up killed the moment the thing came back to our realm. So someone tried to destroy it. They couldn't. It didn't matter that we shattered its bones and tore it to pieces. It didn't matter that by all logic it should have come back to the plane of the dead. It refused to die again. Armies would be sent to destroy it and come back with half of their men dead and the rest injured. Walls that we had set up to stop which would be broken or climbed over, in some cases simply dug under. The skeleton marched on and on, refusing to die. How did we stop it? We dropped a mountain on it. No, not a metaphorical one, but a literal one. Hundreds upon hundreds of mages lifted a mountain and dropped it on the cursed thing. Have you ever wondered why the dead king visits the lonely mountain every year? The empress may say that it's a diplomatic meeting, but the truth is that he is there to check to see if it's finally gone. It never is. It digs. It waits. Why? Why are humans dead like this while the others aren't? No one knows. Not even the gravediggers. Maybe their dead are vengeful and want to punish those who disturb them. Or maybe they are unable to fully go back to resting once they've been awakened. Or maybe, just maybe, the reasons why humans fight and kill and don't rest even after death is because for them, whatever is on the other side is worse than burning or being crushed for eternity. Don't think about it too much. Just don't touch their dead. End of story. Story number 2. A Dream's Ending, written by Pfizer Moop. An intervention is out of the question. It would be foolish. The council chamber of the League had erupted into chaos. Of the Heroni ambassador raised his voice again and again. We cannot pledge ourselves to such a course. You must see this. Lord Ambassador Horatio Ibarra stood silent as yet another delegate was venting his anger at him. Order! Order! The speaker of the chamber was hammering down his heavy ornamental scepter time after time. Order, I say, or I'll make the guards remove those that defy the civility of this place. Only a few managed to rein themselves in. Others simply did not hear the speaker or cared little for his warning. I will not be ignored. With that, the 5 doors at the very edges of the round chamber slammed open. Men in hardened white ceremonial armors marched in. Not many, just enough for the ceramic boots and audibly thunder down the marble of the assembly hall. It was a drastic gesture, but it made its impact as most ambassadors who'd been standing and shouting just now ducked down and became oddly silent. The floor is to Lord Ambassador Horatio Ibarra, representative of the Earth Alliance, again. While the speaker made sure the protocol was upheld, Horatio noticed a lack of excitement for the announcement. As I have said to my esteemed colleagues, we are pressed to act. Now, we must not sit idly by as we watch worlds burn and entire peoples suffer. Those are no worlds of the League, someone shouted. The speaker raised his scepter again to silence the objection. But so did Horatio raise his hand, for he accepted it. No, they are not. One might even argue that our relationship to so many had been proven difficult at times. But I am of the firm belief that such trivialities matter little in contemplation of genocide. We do not approve of what is happening, but the League will not be drawn into open war. It was Heroni Ambassador again, one of the staunchest opponents the humans had to face. Certainly, war would reach our worlds. It would cost us dearly, and I may admit we may just sit within the confines of the League and watch as events pass us by, unscared. But would it? The League has been founded on the principles of integrity and honor, of empathy, and above all else, compassion. As he spoke, he felt anger rise up in him, yet he had to control his composure. He took a breath and continued, As we sit here, there is a war consuming the galaxy. A war that we had the strength and complacency to ignore. A war we failed to stop in its infancy and now must face its escalation. He took a step forward. As we witness the Kovash Empire carving its way through the galaxy, we can no longer just remain witness to what transpires out there. The League was founded on the proclamation of support for the weak, a bulwark against the oppression, and a beacon of hope as we escape the darkness of our past. We stand tall as billions look up to us in their moments of need, yet we dare not venture forth from our towers of ivory and gold. Several men and women stood up, their voices dissonant in a word but unison in protest. Preposterous! Do not insult us! This is not our war! Order! Crackled the sharp tongue of the speaker once again. Yes, this may not be our war. We may let it pass us by. Let the Empire reshape the galaxy and be content with that. We may even possess the strength to guarantee peace for our worlds for another 100 years. Still, what will be left of the League, I ask, for the first time since the great moment came together to build a future worth striving for? we see ourselves confronted with tragedy of such magnitude that we can't ignore it, yet also with such great consequences attached to it, that we shall not expect fate to be merciful upon us if we were to intervene. Precisely. We cannot go out there and fight everybody's war. We have to take care of our own first. Yes, we have to take care of our own. I fear for their lives. I fear for the consequences. I fear for the blood that will be spilled and the lives lost on the field of battle. Horatio made a pause. It went on uninterrupted, as nobody could object to his own honest fears. There is one thing that torments me the most. I believe in the dream that has shaped this league, that we can guarantee peace for our times, yet peace cannot be expected. It has to be made. We knew this when we ratified the Charter. We had learned that lesson by so many lives lost. Thanks to the suffering of those who came before us, we now enjoy peace. Upon the principles laid out by them, we built this league. By their memory, we preserved it through the decades. Everything inside of me roars with a wrath and an anger as we now in the progress of abandoning them. Again voices were raised, but he drowned them out with his own, magnified by the systems now booming through the entire chamber. We have an obligation to us, the League, and our ancestors. We cannot ignore the cries for help. To stand by would be a crime. To ignore the suffering, atrocious. Order! Order! Lord Ambassador, you have made your case, and I will not stand by while you agitate this esteemed assembly any further. Conclude your case in good faith. Now. Horatio nodded. He had failed in getting through. He had not expected success, but it still hurt. My esteemed colleagues, I have not come only to represent the course of action deemed necessary by the Earth Alliance, but to relay a final proclamation authorized by the Grand Parliament of the Alliance. Effective immediately as the Assembly of League has shown its reluctance to action, the Earth Alliance will resign its membership and vacate its permanent seat on the esteemed Council. We accept your decision, but refuse to be bound by it. The chamber went silent in shock as Horatio turned around, yet paused, as he faced the banner of the Alliance behind him. Your people are heading for destruction. It was a soft voice. There was no accusation within it, just a statement of fact. Who had spoken, he did not know. Maybe we have seen the storm many times in our history. I hope that we have not forgotten to weather it. Lest this is true. May this be the time that we invoke those virtues that we laid to rest so long ago, for naught but a dream. End of story. Just a quick shout out to the T5 peeps. Bob the Dragon, Cat Crab Lobster, Data Magnet, Dark Machine, Bezic, Try Again 95, Fudic Yol, Astrea the Dreamer, Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Athelia, Meridian 117, and Jordan Bucksmorm. Thank you very much. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed. There are links down below, both to support this channel and for the author of this fiction. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic one, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.